project for tonight with the Turtley Awesome set. And I'll go ahead, I'll give you the measurements as we go along, and I will put them in the comments. I have a couple of things I need to type up for you guys tonight. I will try to get those on there before I hit the hay. So here's our little card. Love this fold. So I've got some of that Turtley Awesome. I don't know if the paper may not go by the same name. Let's look. I have so many scraps because I've used so much of it. But it is Turtley Cute is the designer series paper. And it's got some really great vivid colors in there. I used, look at that little guy with the swim ring on. Or girl. Isn't that the cutest thing? I love the water wings. Stinking cute. So this paper has some different themes for the turtle designs. This one's obviously a birthday theme with gifts and balloons and presents, ice cream cones. And the neat thing about the dies is it cuts out a few of these turtles from the designer paper. So you can go in and see the different ones. There's 3 different turtles that it'll cut out. So we have that birthday one. Then we have, this is an adventure one with the, look at that little beekeeper's net with the little jar of honey. So stinking cute. In the garden with some birds. Little adventurer here with some binoculars. So that's really fun. On the back of that, we've got that stripe. Now we saw this one on another card over there, that turtle card we just saw. And on the back of that last one, we had one of the crushed curry, and it's got music notes on there. Really, really fun. So we have the adventure, and we have the music. Look at that, with the accordion. My dad had an accordion. A drum, little trumpet, and all those music notes. Really, really cute. And on the back, this is probably one of my favorite patterns. This is the turtle shell, and this is done in, I want to say shaded spruce. I hope I'm right. But it's just a gorgeous pattern. And I could use this for all kinds of things, not just a turtle card. But this is a really, really pretty design that goes along with all your turtles. On the other side, we have turtles on bikes and ice cream and going on a picnic and little cardinals. Stinking cute. This one, again, some of that turtle design, the shell design. And then birthday, and then I'm gonna have this other one. So then you have one, or actually you get 2 of each of these. So you get 2 that look like this. So you can cut out these panels, use them on cards, use them in scrapbooking, home decor, anything. But really fun options for you to use your turtles, your cut out turtles on. And then we've got a polka dot. Love some polka dots. All right, so let's look at the one, or the papers that I used on mine. So I used the stripe on the back of the paper that is, it looks like it's from the beach. I don't think I showed that one. Where is it? Oh, this is for the summer. So it's got, look at this, getting out of the pool with a towel on her head. A little chef and a grill, sandcastles, beach balls, starfish and crabs. Oh my gosh, love it. So I used a scrap of that, and on the back is this stripe. And when you open this up, it's got a gift card holder over here on the left hand side. So your gift card can flip in here. This is really fun. We're going to do a little technique as we put it together tonight on this one. I cut out one of the little sandcastles for the inside for a little interest, but I think this is a fun card for anybody for the summer. Really, really cool. Hope your birthday is turtly awesome. So let's get the paper out and I'll show you all your measurements. I want to go over the way you do your card base. It's a little bit different, but not hard. You're going to need a piece of cardstock that measures 5.5 by 11. And we're going to do 2 score lines on here. So 5.5 by 11. And we're going to move the cutting blade first of all. We're going to put this in at 4 1/4. Do that one right there. Give it a little score. And we're going to move it down to 8 1/2. So just 2 score lines, 4 1/4 and 8 1/2. Okay? So let me fold this so you can see where they are. Like so. Okay? So we know that the little piece here, that pocket for the gift card, is going to be down here, and then this will fold over to close the card. Okay? So this is the inside panel. But we need to take off that part of the top to have the little tab there at the bottom. So I'm going to turn this with the small section at the top, and I'm going to move this left side over to 2 3/4. 2 3/4 right there. Okay, so it's actually halfway between that 5 1/2 up and down. It's 2 3/4, and I'm going to put my cutting blade up here. And I want to cut these 2 top sections down. So I'm going to come down to this second score line right there. So come down, stop right there. So we have our piece there. Now I'm going to turn this, and I'm going to fold mine back. And I'm going to put it back in and put this right here on the cutting track. And you don't have to fold it back. I was just doing that to make it easier for you to see. So that score line will go right on the cutting track. And I'm going to bring this down like so. Okay. So then I have my card just like so. Okay? I mean, that's pretty easy, don't you think? Pretty easy. All right. So now let's bring in some more pieces. So the next one we're going to work on is that inside panel. So we're going to have a piece of Poppy Parade, and this is going to go here on the back of the inside back panel. And I'm going to go ahead and glue this one down. This one measures 3 3/4 by, 4 by 5 1/4. Come on. 4 by 5 1/4. Here we go. Now, I do have an ordering special this week. I have embellishments that I'm going to be sending out. A pack of free embellishments for all orders between now and next Wednesday. When you place an order with me, not only will you get your rewards, but you'll also get a free pack of embellishments from me in the mail. How fun is that? Okay, now I have that in there, but I want to kind of zhuzh up this little piece that goes on the inside. And this one measures 3 3/4 by 5. Okay, scooch that over and bring in a piece of cardstock here. And I want to add in some little bit of sand at the bottom down here, and a little bit of water, and then I did some bubbles. So you can do bubbles or clouds, whichever you like, but I've cut a couple pieces of cardstock. I have this one that I cut out just some, these are 3/4, 1/2 inch. Which ones are these? These are the 1/2 inch circles. So I just punched out 3 1/2 inch circles, okay, out of a piece of cardstock. And I took my scissors down here and just did some random scallops across the edge so I could do some clouds at the top. So I can do either one, whichever, it doesn't matter. I think on this one I'll go ahead and continue the clouds at the top. If you notice on this card, I have the clouds here in the background, behind the sun. So we'll go ahead and continue those up here, but I wanted to show you how you could also do the bubbles. So I'm going to use a small blending brush and some Balmy Blue ink. And we're going to do some clouds. Oop, there we go. Now I'm using the smaller one because I have a little bit more control with the smaller surface here. So I'm going to turn this sideways so we can work on our sky up here at the top. Now you can turn this any which way you want to, you know, get your clouds in there. You can do it up and down like this, however you would like your clouds to be. So I'm going to start it like this. I'll start off here, and I'm just going to go across that. Not too heavy-handed yet. I can always go back in and add more. Remember that. You can see it's got that little scallop there. And then I can do some more over here. Oops. Like that. Isn't that pretty? Maybe we'll do one more. Let's flip it this way so it's the opposite. Oops. You want to watch where the edge of your cardstock is on that stencil, I guess, to not get those sharp corner edges on there. So just like that. All right, so there are my clouds. Isn't that fun? All right, so at the bottom, we're going to put some sand. So I have one of those little sand castles from the designer paper. I cut that out. Isn't that cute? We're going to use that just as a little inside decoration. And I will bring in some crumb cake. And I'm just going to lightly do this on the bottom edge down here. Have a little bit of sand on the beach. Like that. And remember, you should always start off of your paper so you're not getting that initial dark spot on there. So you'll want to have that softer look when you're blending it in, like that. Okay, so there's my little bit of beach there. And now I will bring back my Balmy Blue, and I'm going to do a little bit darker down here. That will be the water, like so. All right. Like that. Voila, a beach. Okay, so I'm going to take some Wink of Stella, and I'm going to do just a little detail here in the water. Get the sun glistening off the water back there. Just adds interest in there. And it kind of makes that horizon line for you. Rough in there. Like that. Okay. And then we'll go ahead and glue our little sandcastle on. And for those of you who have, you know, cutting machines, Scan and Cut, or whatever you have, you can always take the designer paper and cut designs out with that instead of fussy cutting the ones that there aren't any coordinating dies for. So let's see, I'll put that right down there. Like that. Okay. Now on my original one, you'll notice I put a little strip of this coordinating paper down here. You don't have to do that. If you'd like to, you can. But I'm going to leave that just as it is for right now. we'll glue our inside panel in. So you can see it's pretty quick to just make a fun background to use for that inside that will tie your card all together. And just remember, when you are decorating on this one, you're going to see that top half. So whatever you put up here, it's got to coordinate with the front, right? Like, it'll be right here out in the open. So, okay, now I'm going to do the little pocket for the gift card. And I have a piece of Designer Series paper. And this is going to fit just like so. And this one measures 2 1/4 by 2 1/2. So 2 1/4 across by 2 1/2 inches tall. And we're not going to glue the pocket closed yet. We're going to glue the designer paper on. Oop, I'm a little crazy with my glue. Like so. Right there. Don't you love how all of our colors coordinate? You don't even have to think about it. It's like, yep, pommy blue. Yep, that'll match. Just like so. All right, so once I have that on, I'm gonna open it back up and I'm gonna do a little bite out of the side because I want to have a thumb hole for the gift card that's gonna go in there. And this is a 3/4 inch circle. You can use a 1 inch, you could use whatever you want and make your little divot here as big or small as you would like. But definitely nice to have one in there for when you're putting your gift card in, okay? All right, now you can use tear and tape for your edge to do the top and the bottom, or you can use just a really thin line of glue. For this one, I prefer using the glue because the tear and tape is a little bit wide, I think, for this. You don't want to have, you want to leave enough room in there to get your gift card in comfortably. All right, so I'll put that on there. Give it a little press, like that. Okay, so there is the inside of our card, working from the inside out. Okie doke. Now for this front panel, you will need a matte piece. This is the Poppy Parade. Again, this is going to fit here on the front panel. And this one measures 4 by 2 1/2. So 4 inches wide by 2 1/2 inches tall. I'll glue this one on. Like so. Leaving your little border, even border all the way around, like that. Then we're going to do another piece to go on top of that, tie in the Balmy Blue again. And this one will have that same little border on there. This one's going to measure 3 3/4 by 2 1/4. So we're just taking it down by 1/4 inch on both dimensions. And that will give you that nice 1/8 inch border all the way around, like so. Okie doke. And then I have a piece of the designer paper. Now you don't have to put all the matte pieces on here. You could always just do a piece of designer paper, depending on how bulky you want your card to be. But I'm using this designer paper and the matte pieces to tie the colors in. So this piece, oops, I forgot to tell you. This piece measures 3 1/2 by 2. 3 1/2 by 2. There's that one. All right. So those are our front panel right here that we're going to build our little focal image for the turtle here on the front. So let's set that aside, let it dry while we work on the panel for our turtle. So this piece measures 2 3/8 by 3. 2 3/8 by 3? Yeah. 2 3/8 by 3. All right. So on this one, I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to put some sand down here at the bottom. Try to use a little what I have on my brush still. It doesn't need to be too dark, I will say that. Like that. Okay. And then I will put some clouds at the top and add a little bit of the ocean back there behind him, since he's going to go swimming with his water wings on. A little bit of ocean right there. And then we'll do a few clouds up here at the top. Like that. A little low cloud over here. Like so. Maybe a little bit more up here. All right. So what I did for the front also was I just took a piece of cardstock and I punched a 1-inch circle out of it because I wanted to do a little sunshine to be behind my turtle for a little interest. So I've got my circle here. I'm gonna put my sun over here like so. I'm going to use some Daffodil Delight. Just a little bit what I have on here first. And then open it, we'll do a little bit more. Like so. Make that nice and bold. And I went with Daffodil Delight on this because the other colors in this pattern are so vivid. I didn't want to use something like Lemon Lolly or anything like that. I wanted to have some little more brightness to it. So, all right, before I put my turtle on, I'm going to bring back my Wink of Stella, and I'm going to do some of that line work here in the ocean. Whoop, why is my yellow on there? Oh, well, it's just glistening. There we go. Got a little bit on there. And then you can go in and do a little bit of glimmer off of the sun. Like that. Just doing the one edge like that. Okay. All right. Now, we'll go ahead and glue this piece onto the Poppy Parade mat. It's going to go behind it. This glue can't decide if it wants to work or not. There we go. Right there. Now you could do whatever shape you want at the top of this for your focal image. I just chose to do 2 rectangles. I thought that would be perfect for using this little turtle because he is so already taking up so much real estate here on it. So first thing I'm going to do is take my beach ball, and I want to put the beach ball down over here on the right hand side. I just fussy cut that out. I'm sure you could probably find a circle punch that would do it. I just fussy cut mine. And put that over here. Right out there. And then we'll take our turtle, and I have big and small dimensionals. I'm going to use a little one over here on the top of his head because that's such a small little area. That. And then bring in some larger ones. You love dimensionals. I do. Can't get enough. That. One more for no saggy middles on the turtle. So again, don't forget, I am going to be giving away dimensionals, embellishments with orders between now and next Wednesday's live. Now, it is random. You'll get different embellishments. It's not one you choose. I will send you something new, and you'll get to try some new ones. All right, there's that guy. So, yep, you don't even need to do anything. When you place your order, I'll see it come through, and I will mail you your free pack of embellishments. How fun is that? So I'm just using glue here on the bottom of my panel because this is going to go right here. There we go. Like so. And then we're going to use some of those party dots. I used a ton of these. I was surprised I had some still in my little container because I have used a lot. So let's see, let's do one here. One here. Put so much thought where embellishments go. Don't even know if anybody really pays attention to where they are. All right, there's that. And now I need just a little strip of Balmy Blue right here. And I have my sentiment. So my sentiment says, hope your birthday is totally awesome. So I have that and some Memento Tuxedo Black ink. Hopefully this one's juicy. Didn't check it. So we'll put that right there. Whoop. And we'll give it a stamp. See how we do. Yay! Not bad. All right. Then I'll take my paper snips. I think on this one I will trim my little edges of the sides. I'll just do a little dovetail cut. Give it a little zhuzh. Like that. And dimensionals. Isn't he just the cutest thing? Love it. Now, you can always go in if you don't like the empty space. I'll show you what I do sometimes. Let's put this down here at the bottom. Right about there. Look how cute. All right, I have that. And then I will do a couple little birds, just little seagulls. Little birds flying at the beach. Isn't that cute? And you put your little gift card right in there. Oh my word. Stinking cute if you ask me. All right, now you know I will be sending one of these cards to anyone who shares this week. I will put your name in the drawing, and you have a chance of winning this little guy for the card of your very own. So please share away. I would love it if you do, so we have more people to enjoy all the fun. All right, again, this is Turtley Awesome and Turtley Cute designer paper. So check them out, and all the other goodies. These are just totally awesome. All right, my friends, that is it for tonight. Again, don't forget, ordering special between now and next Wednesday. For every order, I'll be sending out a pack of new embellishments for all people who order. So I wish you a wonderful week ahead. I hope you will join me again next week. And until then, stay safe, stay well, and God bless. Good night, friends.